Friends, today is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. We're zooming along this summer with our VPC video devotionals. And I want to read Deuteronomy 5:19. This is the Deuteronomic verse that we've been looking at this week. I quoted it from Exodus earlier in the week, but here it is in Deuteronomy. Neither shall you steal. There it is, the apodictic or a negative command form. Don't do X. Don't commit adultery. Don't use the name of the Lord in vain. There's a number of commandments that have this apodictic form to them. But as we have been discussing this week, stealing is actually, it can happen psychologically, it can happen emotionally. There's intangible forms as well as tangible forms of theft. And one of the things we perhaps also have not considered when we think about theft is that theft harms the individuals from whom things are stolen, but it also hurts us as communities. It also hurts us socially. There are negative social consequences to disobeying the eighth commandment. There are thefts that have driven retailers out of certain American cities because the shrinkage rate, which is really the theft rate, has gone up from 1.6 in some of these places to 5%, 10%. Just become impossible for folks to ensure the security of their employees and to make a profit. And that not only hurts those cities where they lose those retailers, but it also drives up costs in general, because theft, those tend to get added into the prices of things. And so it's everyone that's buying things is in effect impacted by that. But also the psychological thefts that we talked about yesterday of hope and confidence and innocence or dignity, that has spillover effects into our communities, because the leadership and the giftedness that people would have exercised had they not been negatively impacted is lost to the community. They could have contributed to the general well-being in a number of ways. There are a lot of social costs that are associated with the breaking of the eighth commandment, and one of those is really trust. And economic relationships, social relationships, intimate relationships are all based on trust. And breaking the eighth commandment lessens the level of trust that is between people and businesses, between businesses themselves, and between citizens and the government as well. Let's take a moment and pray. Lord, empower us to obey the eighth commandment so that we may build up and bolster our common life. We ask this in your Son's amazing name. Amen.